So I've been seeing a lot of speed paints of people using the IbisPaintX Lasso tool to do art, and I thought it would be cool, so I decided to try it. That's legitimately the only reason this video exists. I decided to draw Lapis Lazuli from Steven Universe because I've been rewatching some of the show, and Lapis was my favorite character back in the day. She's not quite my favorite anymore, but I still really like her, and I think her design is really pretty. Please ignore the YouTube player if it shows up. I need to listen while I draw. Sorry. After doing this sketch off screen, I started lining. I decided to not try to do liner because I thought that would be way too much work, especially because I've never used the Lasso fill tool before. I had trouble finding it. Plus, I feel like the lineless art is a part of the vibe for these whole drawings. One thing I found to be a bit hard was filling in the entire space without leaving white behind, so I decided to go back and clean that up in a few spots. For the hair, I just decided to make it a separate layer on top of the body for simplicity's sake. Also, bald lapis is going to flash on the screen a few times, and I'm sorry. Although I said I wasn't going to do liner, I decided to just separate her arms from her torso because that's the same color and it was just a blue blob. Also, the nose and lips. The wings were a lot of fun to draw. I again put them on a separate layer. Also, I did put the sketch layer on top of my line art so I could see what I was doing, in case you couldn't tell. For shading, I ended up magic wanding the colors and then adding a slightly darker color on top of it. I did this to make it a bit easier to keep the colors where they were supposed to go. I ended up making the shading on the eyes a bit softer because I didn't like how harsh the blue looked. I know I didn't technically need a shade, I just thought it would look better if I did. The background was kind of just some purples I layered on top of each other. The speed paint ended up being a lot longer than I thought it would. Turns out I take longer to draw than I do to yap. Sorry, I'm really bad at writing scripts apparently. And with that, Lapis Lazuli is done. I'm really happy with that pun. So some of the lines in the final piece are pretty shaky, but I think I did good for a first time ever using this tool. I hope you enjoyed this video. The script is less than a page long, so it wasn't very long. See you next time. Bye.